longing for them all the day long.
Read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
So off those slave ships, that woman's son and daughter was taken. One was taken to Alabama, and the other probably was taken to South America. That same woman got married again and had more children. And I guarantee you, 60, 40, 25 years later, she still was thinking about them first children she came off that slave ship with. Not only that, the children that she bare with her new husband, her husband probably was sold off somewhere else, and those same and her two or one new children was taken from her as well. So these are the curses that will happen to a group of people. Okay, this didn't happen to the so-called Khazar people. They wasn't sold. Hitler didn't sell them, but the African American was sold. Okay, let's find out. Let's keep going. Let's get a couple more. Go to 30.
Deuteronomy 28:30.
Read.
Thou shalt betroth a wife.
Betroth a wife.
Betroth a wife.
Meaning you're going to marry a woman. You're going to have a wife. Read.
Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Read.
Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes
thereof. So let's examine this last verse real quick. Thou shalt betroth a wife. I mean, you're gonna have a wife. You're gonna get married, and another man shall lie with them. And when Master used to come in, he used to take your wife anytime he wanted. He could have lost a bet, but he would take your wife off that bed. And his friends say, "Well, I got a good stug Negro," and he would say, and Master would say, "Well, I got this nice Negro woman. Well, why don't we just make them?" Okay, and they would. Or Master would lose a bet. I bet you I could take this coin and throw it over into that jar, or that can. And he would miss. And the bet was your wife. And it says, thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. What about slavery? What about the houses we were building? We was building master houses, and we slept in the little shanties in the back. These are the curses that happened to Israel. Okay? Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes. Meaning that you was going to go out there in the cotton fields, but when you came back, none of it would benefit you. What about the tobacco, which benefit the whole world? All this was done off free slavery. And even to this day, our people are still picking cotton. To this day, we're still picking cotton. We brag about how much we spent on a shirt, while other nations brag how much they didn't spend on that shirt. All right? So, Detroit is burning. Our city is burning because to show you that we are Israel. All right? Let's keep going. Let's go to something else. Next topic we're going to go to this week. Well, this past week we just had Feast of Trumpets as of, what was it, last Wednesday? What was that we celebrated? The 8th. We had the Feast of Trumpets. And after 9 days of the Feast of Trumpets, we're supposed to fast. Scripture says we're supposed to afflict the soul. So let's go there. Let's go to Leviticus. You want to show them about the fire? Yeah. That's where he was at. Yeah. You want? I thought I did put it up there. Okay. Not bad. Let me put the fire up there before we go. Before we change to switch something else here. My bad. Again, Detroit is a city that's been afflicted for many years. And before I was born, after the 68 riots, they continue said that, oh, Detroit is going to bounce back, it's going to bounce back, and I have not seen it yet bounce back. Even as a teenager growing up, I have not seen Detroit bounce back. Now, and I'm sorry that I jumped to subject. I'm going to post this real quick about Detroit, and then we're going to go and get it in the scripture. Now, if you look at that clip, let's turn our Bibles to Revelation 8 and 7. Before we even switch, and I apologize about that. Revelation 8 and 7. And I'm going to show you that these curses, as of today, are still afflicting the children of Israel in their city, as the scripture said. Read.
Revelations 8 and 7. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up.
Stop right there. So we know that these are considered wildfires. Now, if you look at this clip, it talks about the wind. The wind bringing a breeze, a warm breeze. The climate was warm. For the fire can easily blow and burn. All right. These are some of the prophecies that's in the Bible. Also, these is again, this is one of the curses that was predicted to happen to the children of Israel, that their cities would be waste. Okay, and according to Scripture, judgment time is coming, and the children of Israel gets it first. Whether you believe and know that you're Israelite, you get it first. Okay. Let's keep going here. Let's read the second curse. Let's go to the second one just to show this real quick. Read. Revelation 8 and 8.
Revelation 8 and 8. And the second angel sounded, as it were a great mountain burning with fire, was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood.
So we know that that's the oil spill that happened. Okay? And when that oil hit the water, it reminded of us what? It looked like blood. Okay? So we just recapping. All right, and showing that these prophecies are being fulfilled. In the city of Detroit, which is predominantly a 90% African-American city, so-called African-American city, is cursed right now. And we have people crying, oh, it's going to get better, it's going to get better. And it's not. And I try to see the good side of it. But reality says the Bible doesn't lie. The Bible can't lie. Okay? So no matter how much money they're putting into the city, it's going to continue to have a downfall. Let's read something from the paper real quick. Give me a second. Now, if you look at what's going on in the urban neighborhoods, our children are continuing to kill each other. Crime is rising. Parents are against their children. Children against their parents. It's becoming very wicked in our cities in America. And it seems like no one has the answer. But the Bible does. It has an answer. Okay, now if you look on this paper, it says, the headline is, Wind-Driven Fire Fans Detroit Woes. Okay? Matter of fact, let's go to Revelation. And we're going to start off at verse 7 and 1. Read. Now, I'm sorry. Now, let's find out again. Wind has driven fires. It says, wind-driven fire fans Detroit woes. So let's find out if this matches the Bible. Okay, read Revelation 7 and 1.
Revelation 7 and 1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth.
Read.
That the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Read.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
Read.
Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
So we know during past lessons that the 144,000 has been sealed. So therefore, that means these winds has been released. The earth is being hurt right now, according to Bible prophecy. Okay? Let's read this real quick. I'm going to read it. It says, Detroit, for a city already struggling with high unemployment, widespread foreclosures, and deep budget cuts, here was another crisis. Wind whipped fires tearing through row after row of homes, some of them abandoned. And if you've ever been to Detroit before, I think 20% of the houses or the homes in Detroit are abandoned. Okay, neighborhoods. I mean, I have family there, and I have a cousin on her block. You have a house. You have a block of 50 houses, and I'm telling you, this is the truth. I counted the houses that were occupied on this one block, and it was maybe like no more than 6 on one block. And those who live in the Evergreen Retirement area of Detroit, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right? This is the prophecies that are spoken about in the Bible. Okay? So we're going to move on to the next. Next thing I wanted to talk about was the Feast of Trumpet that we just had last week. Okay? According to scriptures that we were supposed to fast. We are supposed to fast 9 days after the Feast of Trumpet. And let's get that according to scriptures. Let's go to Leviticus 23. And we're going to start up at 27. Now, according to scriptures, we are supposed to afflict our bodies. Okay? Afflicting our bodies means no food or no water. Okay? Now, we know some of us who come out of the Christian churches, are taught we can fast with food, like grapes and fruit, crackers. Well, you can't find any scripture in the Bible where they fasted eating food. Doesn't make any sense. Okay? So let's get that. Also, even in the Islam, they still fast with food. They stop eating from like 5, and they begin eating at, I think it's like 7, 8 o'clock at night. And they call that breakfast. So we know, according to the scriptures, that you can't fast with eating. You fast without eating, or without eating and drinking. Are you ready to read that out? 23 and start at verse 27.
Leviticus 23 to 27.
Read.
Also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement.
So the day of atonement is coming up, which is tomorrow night, start at sundown. Okay? That's when the day began according to the Bible. All right? And we get that for those who have no understanding. We get that. Read.
It shall be an holy convocation unto you.
So this is a holy convocation for us, for the children of Israel, and for those who are following the laws of the children of Israel. Read.
And ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So how do you afflict your soul? You have no food or no water. It's fasting. Read it again.
Also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Read.
And ye shall do no work.
You should do what?
And ye shall do no work in that same day. For it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your power.
So we have to treat these days just like Sabbath. Now, we know if those who have to work, that's when grace fall in. It's not like you're taking advantage of grace, okay? Because you have to survive and work and feed your family. We know that. We have understanding of that. Okay? Years before, during the time of Leviticus era, Moses' era,